So, chapter 4, we're getting into the, I guess, heavier stuff in a way. A lot of the stuff that we do at the start won't make sense of why you're actually doing it, but I'm going to be probing you to see um, if you can figure out why we're actually doing this. So, just a few introductory things that you come across. A polynomial is simply, can anyone explain? Okay. Polynomials are really equations where you have powers that go 2, 3, 4, all the way up. Polynomial. This first question here, p -2. To find p with a -2. When you've seen that before, what is what is it asking you to do? When you just see it, this is maths. What is it in English? And you can see it in here. If I emphasize those two things, what are we doing, Kate?
Find p when x is equal to -2.
Good. Find p when x equals -2. Where all it is sub x equals -2 into the equation. So a p -2, our x is changing to a -2. What's -2 cubed? -8, don't forget the negative. -4 times -2 squared. So 4. Okay. -8, take away 16, take away 2 is -26. Let's do question 2. Any questions with that? This new one. On the edge there, it's equal to 18. I've zoomed it out too much. Okay, you can see what we're already doing. We have a new equation, but we have new information. P1 means Hudson, what are we going to substitute x equals? Okay, when you see it in the bracket, that's the x that we're going to use. 1. But we also know when x equals 1, it's the y is equal to 18. So this section is like the y. So we got two things to substitute in there. Not only do we sub in 1s for all our x's, but we can sub in the answer that it gives. Is an 18 over here. So this is that's our y. In reality, there are a lot of variables in here. There's x's, and there's a c that we don't know. This question is asking to find c. C is stuck. We've used our information to unravel it. 1, 4 minus 1 cubed. 1 take away 1. Nothing. 2c, 6. Then you got your algebra that you've been doing forever. Okay. Any questions with that? Questions have more variables. Don't get comfortable by just using the letter P. So the first information, Q1 equals 11 and Q negative 1 equals 1. And we want to find A and B. Immediately, we've got two sets of information for our equation. Therefore, what technique are we going to use if we've got two sets of information now? Okay, we're going to use this first bit here. 1, 5 minus 1, 4 is 0. A plus B plus 2. 9 equals A plus B. And if I create more space here, and how do I use the second piece of information with the equation? Amy, how do I start this one off?
You put 1
Yep.
as a y.
The one's as a y, and in our x's we have
Negative 1.
negative 1. Thank you. Over here, I didn't use brackets because ones sort of look after themselves. But get into the habit, if it's a negative, put it into a bracket. If I have 5 negative ones, negative 1. Don't forget this is a standalone negative. 4 negative ones, I have that. 1. I was going to say 4. Okay. Negative 1 squared is a positive A. Take away B plus 2. And we're left with a 1, as Amy said. You clean them all up. So 1 equals
A minus B.
A minus B. What are we going to do? Elimination. So we've got equation 1 over here. Oh, let's say this is 2. And this is 1. So we stack them up on top of each other. Okay, do you want to add or subtract, people?
5 and a 4.
Okay, let's add. You could also subtract. 9 and 1 is 10. A plus A is 2A. A equals 5. And then he's substituted into here. 9 equals 5 plus B, because that's our A. And as Zaid said, we have 4. Okay. All right. Not the last one, but this is a biggie. And we have to go through this. Try not to freak out, okay? This is from the other textbook. Okay, that's what you've got to do. I'll try and use some colors in this one so you don't get lost. Okay, so a few things happening here. We've got a polynomial. And it's saying this can be written in the form of x minus 2 two equations, but they're the same. You're starting off with this. The question's saying it can be written like this. And we need to find our B's, C's, and R's that are all unknown values. So a lot of the questions that you are doing are finding unknown values. And if you can see here, the best way to, does anyone know, let's see, did I have it? Does anyone know how to start this question? What are we doing? Where are we going with this? If I want to relate this with this, on top, everything's expanded out. This is an expanded form. What's down here? What do we have in this version of it? Okay. We have a couple of brackets. And once you start seeing brackets, you're thinking factor form. Because it's kind of like that's being a factor and that's a factor in a way. So we are going to get rid of these brackets first with this ugly looking thing here. So let's go for a little journey. What's my first term? Ignore the R for now. Let's play around with this. X is going to dance with x squared. Becomes x cubed. X is going to dance with bx. Bx squared. There's many ways to do this. X dances with c, xc. Who's left out of the dancing? Negative 2 wants to be part of the dance floor. He goes in. Negative 2 now dances with x squared. Negative 2x squared. Negative 2 dances with a bx. Negative 2bx. Negative 2 dances with a c. Negative 2c. And what are we missing? So all this gibberish here, we need to clean things up. Does x cube have any friends? Any family on the dance floor? No family. Bx squared, any family? No. No. Incorrect. Okay. So we've got family here. The 2. It's okay. So this family here is x squared. But is everyone okay that I did that? I factorized the x squared out. Okay. Yeah, we there's a bit of back and forth. Okay. So we have that going on. If I do it with the what's the next family? What's the next surname? I've got my x cubed, my x squared. Okay, the xc and not the 2c we have over here. The x family. What do I put in the bracket?
C minus.
X take away 2. Okay. Oh, my bad. X minus, should be, my bad. C take away 2b. Was that what you guys had? Sorry, my mistake. A c and an x make an xc. A negative 2bx makes a negative 2bx. Negative 2c and r are the leftovers of the group. So we just latch that on at the end. Okay. I now have something happening going on here. Ignore all our mess. Have a look closely at this and this. What's the first thing that you can do? Okay. Who wants to have a go? Jesse.
A minus 2 equals 3.
Excellent. What color do you want?
Whatever.
Green is the best, I think. Okay. Jesse has seen the x squared is related to this x squared. So he's equating. He's seen that. Okay. This is something that we call equating coefficients. And b is now equal to 5. Just my backtracking. All right. Does anyone else see something? Who else sees something? Gabe, what do you see?
C minus 2b is equal to 2, and you already know b.
Excellent. Gabe has seen that there's another equation. Our x to the power of 1 is related to this guy here, because that's an x to the power of 1. So he's saying our 2 is equal to c minus 2b. And Gabe also said we already know our b, which is a 5 from before. Our c is equal to 12. Okay. Who wants the next lolly?
1 of
Okay. So you'll get this. Negative 2c plus r, and you substitute that to be 12, and you're saying it's equal to negative 24.
Oh, sorry, 1.
1. Good. You almost lost the lolly, Kerry. Sorry, Steve. You can finish this after. Okay.
Alright, now it's 24.
What's R?
25.
R equals 25. I'm feeling generous because I know it's a double. Okay. All right. How are we feeling about that? Now, any questions? So we found we can rewrite that with the new values in there. That's all we're doing. Okay. Question for everyone. Do you want me to go to the next 2 pages? It looks like this. Or do you want me to do that in period 4? Do you want a break now? I'm asking. Do people want a break? Hands up if you want a break now. No break. Okay, let's hammer through. Okay. Did you guys see this last year? Look at this question. Can you do it? Have you had exposure to it? Okay. Just want to see if anyone's actually done it. Let's go back to primary school. Do you learn long division in primary school? Okay. Let's do short division first. This is let's do short division here, and this is long.
You know, like officially, and quickly, you know, they are short.
Okay, short division, 246 divided by 7. Does 7 fit into 2? No. 7 fit in 24? How many times? 3. Remainder? Does 7 fit into 16? How many times? Twice. Remainder? 2. Okay. Hang on.
Wait, how was the remainder 1?
Hang on.
The first one.
Remainder 3. It's the remainder. Thank you, Zay. Let's go back. The remainder was actually 3. How many 7s in 36? 5. Remainder 1. So remember, 35 remainder 1 is the same as 35 with the remainder over 7. Are you okay with that? They're exactly the same thing. Short division. Now let's see if you remember long division. I had to look up YouTube to do long division again. It's been a very long time. We're going to do 246 divided by 7 again using long division. So we do it again. 7 into 2, no, 7 into 4, 3 times. We know the remainder is 3. However, there's an extra step in long division before that. 3 times 7 is 21. Then you take it away. The 24 take away 21. Then the 3 appears. And then you drop down the 6. The 6 comes down. The 7 fit into 36. 5 times. Before we get to remainder, 7 times 5 is 35. We take it away. Remainder 1.
Yeah.
That's long division. You need to know how to do long division for year 11 with this here. And we're going to attempt this right now. We can't do this with short division, which you know. And there is a reason why we do this.
Why am I ever going to use this?
You're never going to use this set.
Yeah.
You'll use it in your sack. Okay. So we are going to, this equation is going to be divided by x plus 2. Okay. This is the big picture of this whole thing. What we're trying to do, I'm going to wipe this out, but please pay attention to this because this is the big picture now. If I have that's very important. I have my large equation here. All I'm doing, I'm going to divide it by a factor. Okay, for example, if I have 8, if I know a factor of 8 is 2, what's the other bit? 2 times what is 8? 4. All we're doing is breaking down our 8 into factors. In the same way, we are breaking down our huge equation into factors. Because I know 8 divided by 2 is 4. So if I divide our big equation with a factor, I can figure out all the other factors in there. Is that, hands up if that's making sense to some people here? Okay. The next question is, what are factors in our equation? If I divide x plus 3, x minus 1, and I create a 0 in here, what are we looking at? You get 2 lollies for this question. The stakes are going higher. Our equation is being broken down into factors. And the way we do that is we divide. So 8, for example, 8, there's a known factor of 2. I divide 8 divided by 2 to find out the other factor, 4. What's significant about factors and when the equation is at the 0? At the 0. What is it equal to? What are these leading towards? Null factor law, more information. X-intercepts. Did anyone have that in mind? X-intercepts? Yeah. Okay. Okay. It'll make sense. It'll make sense later on. I'm just planting seeds. Oh no, so what I meant is this whole thing is a 0. Sorry, my 0 should have been a bit bigger for you. My bad. Sorry. I'm just gonna recap with Tim. Although I put the 0 on top, the whole equation was actually meant to be 0. That's what I meant. It would have helped. Sorry. I should have been a bit more explicit. You'll get another chance for 2 loads, okay? All right. Let's get into this. The goal in long division is to create a sort of answer in here underneath. And the way we do that, x into x4. I want to achieve another x to the power of 4. But x times something makes it x4. How many x's are missing? 3. So x cubed will go there. But let's just line it up a bit. Okay. First step, x4. So I want an x4. But to get to that x4, x times x cubed is x4. Okay. But whatever we apply to the x, we must apply to the 2. 2x cubed. Okay. So the positive and an x cubed. Hey, Zach, Jesse. I'll give it half of that and maybe half for my lack of explanation. How about giving 1 week? We've only got 2 today. 2 times x cubed is 2x cubed. What are we going to do with these? What do you see the long division?
Take them away.
Take them away. We take them away. Okay. The lolly shop is closed at the moment. x4, take away x4 is?
0.
0. That's what we're aiming. We're aiming for the 0. Negative 3x cubed, take away 2x cubed. Sorry? Negative 5x cubed. Sorry, Lolly shut this box. Okay. So negative 5x cubed. What was the next step in long division over there when we found a remainder? What do we do? Not quite. Look at my arrows.
You bring
Pull it down. We pull down the 2x squared. Now let's focus on this guy here. What do I multiply to x to get a negative 5x cubed?
5x.
Exactly. These two make this, so we can now take it away. But we must apply it to the 2. 2 times negative 5x squared, Nathan. 2 times negative 5x squared.
Negative 10.
Negative 10x squared. What's the next step, Zach? Minus it. Put it in a bracket. What happens with negative 5x cubes, Amrita? Cancel out. 2x squared take away a negative 10x squared, Perry. Very good. 12x squared. Okay. What's my next step, Hudson?
Of negative.
What question am I going to ask right now, Emily? Exactly. We want a 12x squared. And so if I have x times something is 12x squared, Maya, what needs to go up here? Good. Okay. What has been left out, Zay? If I've applied it to the x times 12x is 12x squared. X has a partner. Who's the partner? 2. Shouldn't leave the partner alone. 2 times 12x?
24x.
24x. Okay. Now what's going on here? We need to make an adjustment here. Can anyone see what we need to do? Okay. We actually had to do this. We need to backtrack. What am I going to put in there to help us?
Plus 0.
Yes. Plus 0 what, Zach? Yes. You can see the pattern, x4, x3, x squared. We need to account for a 0x as well, and then the number. Sometimes there are terms missing in here. Okay? There are terms missing. So instead, what is being brought down? It's not the negative 8, it's a 0x. So just a little bit more work. We were already on the right track here with the 12x at the top. Two needs to be multiplied with 12x, and we had the 24x as before. We take them away. What's our final answer here? Negative 24x. I'm running out of whiteboard space. Bring down the negative 8. X times what is a negative 24x?
Negative 24.
Negative 24. Let's complete that. Like so. 2 times negative 24. Negative 48.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry. Lastly, when we take them away, a negative 8, negative 48. Plus 40. So the remainder is 40. Now, this is, look carefully here. We have a remainder 40. You can either write it as remainder 40 up there, or excellent. And you could have. Can you see how we added the 1 on 7? Because it's the division with the. Can't even explain it. Can you see how we can write that as well? Yes, the remainder is 40, like the remainder 1, but to write it properly, it's 1 on 7. In this case, it's 40 on x plus 2. Okay. Sorry. I don't think I need to go through other ones. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't need to go through that one. Maybe. Do you guys need a break? Or you want to keep going?
You just hammer through it. So is that question on the notes as well?
Question?
Yeah, is that question?
Yeah. This one.
Okay, because I understand everything before that, and then it just wrap around.
Oh, just this one you got stuck?
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, because you can't. Because you can't. It's a good question. You asking that question, Amrita? And then you're saying separate these? Okay. Why can't I start cancelling stuff here for each one? Sort of.
Cubed plus x to the 4 over 2.
Okay.
So it would really give you anything.
I can only start cancelling things up and down when that's actually a times. I think that's what you're asking. When it's a plus, it gets stuck. I can't cancel up and down because the plus is in the way. Okay, but that's a good question. Okay, I think what I might do, guys, listen carefully. I'm going to do this over 2 periods. Okay, so I'm going to stop right now. On Monday, these ones get a little harder, but I want you to know the basics first. So I'm not going to hammer through this right now. You get to do your practice sack right now. Ask for any questions or any help. On Monday, we're going to start from here from the notes. This is not reminder. This is not on the sack. We're just trying to get ahead. Just 1 second, guys.
So